Good morning, YouTube. This is Kaylin Stern coming at you with the first of 3 videos today featuring this beast. This Russian 24-hour ration. This is menu 2. I'm trying a different camera angle to see how well this will work. So what I'm going to do first is, see, on the top there's this handle here for the person to carry it, and down here is a zip seal for resealing. You open it, you eat part of it, and then you can seal it back up. So there's a tear notch on the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and rip into this. I'm definitely going to keep this bag because this feels like a pretty tough bag. Now there's a box inside this bag. That makes it a little stiffer. Well, that zips, that seal didn't quite, when that ripped off, that didn't quite rip off where I expected it to, so I'm going to cheat and use the scissors, but I'm going to cut above the zip seal because I want to preserve that. And I think this should just work a lot easier. There we go. See, this has right here is the calories for the whole menu. Sorry about the glare. Nope, I should do the wrong number. That's this one, this number right here, the second to the last. And that's 3,670 calories for the whole day's worth of food. And here is the box. Box seems like it's in pretty decent shape. I'll flip it over. Put the tray back. I'll move my cups. So off the top here, we have the 3-pack of paired wet wipes. One of these is for wiping your hands or your face. The other is for wiping down, say, your mess kit, utensils, whatever. So, so 6 wipes in total. Very organized packaging. Here is like a very, very thin but foldable Espet type stove with 3 fuel tablets in a sealed package, which I will not use because I'm doing this indoors and it is too crap and cold to go out on my deck. Three huge packs of sugar. Let's see. These are 20 grams. See the 20, and then the Russian letter that corresponds with G. That's 20 grams. So I could probably get away with using just one of these for all 3 hot drinks. Got 3 spoons, which are about the size of normal plastic spoons you could buy in a store, and they're green ones. So I will keep these after use. I'll wash them and they'll go into my camping kit. Oops. Here is a package of pepper, which I will not use for breakfast, but it is in there. Just a little sheet of info. This is one of the cans. Oop, that's upside down, I think. Really, this is like a beef. This menu is all beef based. I don't have a means of translating because the only mobile translator is in use to record this video. Here is this is I believe a drink mix, but it seems pretty hard. I'll knead that up, bust it up a little bit before mixing it. And then I'll look at how much water it takes to prepare this. But the package is green and yellow, so like a shiny camel. I'll have to look at it, try to figure out, see what flavor it is. This is a package of coffee. So you can see the coffee beans there. That will be definitely for breakfast. This is what I've been waiting for. This apple butter. I'm so looking forward to this. Everyone who has had the Russian apple butter just goes absolutely nutsoid for it. I am so looking forward to that. This is the pate, or as Russians say, pashtet. I dabbled with Russian many, many, many years ago, so I can remember how some of the letters are pronounced. But this is like a liver pate, and it's a big one. I mean, this is, I think, let's see, I'll look at the weight on it. 100 grams. Wow, this is 100-gram liver pate. And it will take probably all of one of these packages of crackers. So there are 4 packages of crackers. The listing said 2 different types, but all 4 of these look the same to me. The packaging is the same, and they are in very, very good condition. Not much breakage going on here, which is good. I'll put these back here. This is a mixed fruit bar. I'm looking forward to this. Just a little like inspection sticker or tag. And this is some matches and a striker in a sealed packet. It looks like there may be 2 strikers in there. I can't tell, but they're very, very nicely sealed packet. Kind of like how the Brits do the matches in their ration packs. That is definitely a keeper to go with the Esprit stove if I were to use it. And this is cheese. Let's see, I believe it's a... Yep, this is the cheese. It's got the yellow label. I remember seeing this from the other rations having this. Okay, here 2 water purification tablets. I'll put those there on the wet wipes. There is the salt that goes with the pepper. There is 1 tea bag. There is the other tea bag. This is one of the famous Kashas. This is the beef Kasha. And with the tea bags, I'll put the Kasha there. I'll put the tea there with the coffees. And there are 2 more items here. I'm supposed to get a vegetable caviar. This is a beef stew. Looks like beef and potatoes and carrots and tomatoes, so this is going to be good. And this is the other item that is a beef-based item. I think in the listing it said just said beef, so it may be beef by itself. So 3 hot items. Actually, this one might be the vegetable caviar. I think that's what this is. I think this is the vegetable caviar. Because they're usually not this, what I've seen on the other videos, are usually not this big. So this is the 3rd beef item. And then last but not least, there's another info sheet. they provide, looks like 2 or no, maybe 3. Yep, 3 thin napkins. And that is what is in this box. Put the box back in the bag for now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause this. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to have for breakfast, because there is nothing here that really speaks of breakfast to me from what I'm used to. So I am assuming that Russians typically eat something like this Kasha for breakfast. So I think that's what I'll do. So I will figure that out, and I will come. You'll see it come right back. So it'll take me a while to set this up. I need to get some hot water going for the coffee, and I will use the flameless ration heaters to heat these. So I have several of those left, so I'll go ahead and use those. I pulled out 3 of them, so that's what I use to heat these mains up. And so stay tuned for the next part of the review. I am back. I have separated out what I'm going to have for breakfast and the manner in which I'm going to do it. So I will have this coffee. There's no creamer here, but I do have this large packet of sugar, so I will just use 1/3 of this, and then I'll use another 1/3 for the teas for lunch, and then the rest of it for my tea with supper. I'm going to have this bar, this fruit bar. This I'm going to assume it's like an electrolyte drink, and from the color I'm going to guess lemon lime. I could not find out how much water to use. I have a package of crackers to go with this apple butter. This is a somewhat different packaging than what I've seen, but I have seen this particular packaging before. And here is the beef kasha, and I will use a ration heater, flameless ration heater. I'm not using the salt that came with the ration because I want to save it in case I might need it later. So I prepare a little salt. I use salt to help kick these things off. Well, I don't think I'll be able to get this inside the bag. Nope, so I'll just wrap it up. I'm going to activate this this heater. I can already feel it, it's going. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip it in this to keep the heat in. Wrap a towel around it. And set it on top of the ration box. And now I am going to make some coffee. It smells pretty darn good. That's what the coffee looks like. I heated up some water in my my coffee pot. I'm going to give that ration heater about the usual time between the 10 and 12 or 15 or minutes or whatever. The coffee smells good. Set that back there. Now I'm going to do this drink. Now, this ration only has the one drink packet. Or some others have 3. The one that Art and Nina opened up yesterday on their Foreign MRE channel. There were 3 drink mixes, but one of them went kaput on them. Oh, I can't find a tear notch, so I'm going to cheat. And it smells citrusy. So there's a lot of crystals in there, so it definitely smells fruity. I'll just fill up my drinking jar. doing this to try to break up some of the clumps. I was kneading the package for quite a while. Try to break some of it up. And the spoon just barely fits in my drinking jar. It looks like lemonade. I'm just gonna let that just kind of sit. Now I'm going to open this fruit bar. It looks like a mixed fruit of probably plums and maybe peaches or apricots. But it is a very, very dark bar. Got a bit of a shine to it. Might have... I can definitely smell the plum, but it almost smells like date. So I will put that there. Now I will open the crackers. And some Russian rations, there'll be crackers with this green writing on it. Some have blue. Hardly any crumbs. This is a big, big packet of the apple butter. I think this is like the I'm looking for the weight on here, but I think it's like might be like 30 grams. And this has a best by date of May 6, 2018. So some of these items are this has just gone past their best buy date of March 20th. So that's why this ration was discounted and put in the section of the 4NMRA.com website called Open Items. It's open items that they've opened up for inspection if they suspected damage, or items that have gone past their best buy date as stated on the outer package. And that's where this one was, and that's where I got my Spanish rations, the 2 Spanish rations. And this one was in that open items. They were not open, they'd just gone past their best buy date. So, I'm going to go ahead and open up this apple butter. Now I'm going to put some of it on one of these crackers. Nice dark brown color. Definitely smells of apple. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a taste. I have so been looking forward to this. That is just plain awesome. It's not too sweet. The apple really comes through. I think it's the best apple butter I've ever had. I can see why everybody who has reviewed these Russian rations has raved about this apple butter. I mean, this is just the best stuff on the planet. I mean, that is just plain awesome. Now I'm going to taste this Russian coffee. That is pretty good coffee. It's not too strong. It's not bitter at all. And I only used 1/3 of that packet of sugar, as I do like my coffee a little sweet, but it's got a good flavor, good breakfast coffee. Now I'm going to try this fruit bar. I'm going to break it in half so you can see what it looks like on the inside. Ooh, it's a little chunky. You can actually feel the individual bits of the fruit as you chew it. It doesn't taste like artificial flavor. I can really taste the plum. I can't really pick up any other flavors, but it still smells a little bit like dates. I don't know if there's date in it, but it smells like it, but it is very, very good. I'm going to give this drink another stir. It's not quite fully dissolved, but it has been allowed to sit for a bit. It's a bit of a, well, it's not quite as tart as I expected for like a tropical type fruit drink or a lemon. But it is definitely fruity. I don't know if I might have mixed in too much water, but I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't see on the package how much water to use. Check on this. I have it inside this pocketed hot pad. I'm going to flip the can over. Just because I want to make sure that the Kasha is heated all the way through. One little break on the cracker. These crackers by themselves do not have a whole lot of flavor, but they taste like a saltine. But once you put this awesomeness on it, it just really it just want to make you eat this stuff all day long. It is worth getting a ration to get this apple butter. If you can get this good stuff, get it. This is a great item to have for your breakfast, and it'll go down good, you know, to contrast the savoriness of the beef kasha. But this drink, I cannot taste the vitamins or whatever supplement has been put in it. I can just taste the fruitiness. But it's a good tasting drink though. Just hard to stir up because it was all bunched up, and you know, wasn't a really smooth powder or smooth crystals like the coffee. The sugar packets are fine. They did not get lumped up at all. They're in great shape. I put my hand on this. I got it on a towel. It's still working. I can still feel it going. Like I said, I turned the can over to make sure that it's heated all the way through. And I'll use these ration heaters for my lunch and separate videos to heat up the mains on those. So I think I'm going to pause this for a little bit, and I want to wait for the ration heater to completely do its thing. I pulled a 2012 ration heater for this. I got it wrapped up in this towel to keep the heat in. Yeah, I bought a bunch of ration heaters last year on eBay, and later on this year I will get some more because after the 3 that I used today, I will have 2 left, and I want to have a few more because it's a good way to heat up entrees if you do not have the means of either boiling a pot of water, which I really didn't want to do. I didn't want to do that, and I wanted to experiment anyway. I wanted to experiment to see if I could heat up these Russian foil cans with the ration heaters, and so that's what I'm doing. And I will have to just wrap the heater bag around the can instead of putting it in the bag because it is just too thick to actually fit in the bag. It wouldn't go in. I tried. So I will pause this for a bit, and then I'll wait a little while for the heater to completely do its thing, and then I'll be back. I am back. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this out and see if this thing did what I hoped it would do. I cannot hear anything coming from the heater bag. Now, some Russian rations come with a little tool that's supposed to help you open these cans, but this one did not. There we go. This one is opening fairly nicely. It's a bit on the oily side. This is the beef Kasha that all the reviewers that have had these rations go for. Oops. There's rice and beef. My first taste of Russian Kasha. Wow. It's definitely salty. It does not need any extra salt. It didn't get as warm as I thought it would, but that's perfectly fine with me. here you can better see the piece of beef that is in there. Turn the spoon this way. It almost reminds me of a corned beef hash that is popular here in the U.S. The corned beef hash would be like tiny diced beef with equally tiny diced potatoes. But to me this kind of reminds me of that, but with the rice instead of the beef, and it's very, very firm, but yet this plastic spoon has no trouble with it. I can see why everybody goes absolutely bonkers over this Russian Kasha. Everyone that I've seen that has had it has really loved it, and I can see why. I can taste why. This is really, really good stuff. This would make a great lunch or supper item. But this is my breakfast this morning. So I am going to enjoy this. I'm going to go ahead and transfer these video segments to my computer so I can splice them together and upload. Again, this is a Russian 24-hour ration. I can't remember which type. There are several different types of these Russian rations. And this one happens to be menu 2 of this particular type. But you can find these on foreignmemory.com. I will put the link to their website and their YouTube channel down below. So go check them out. They get new stuff all the time. They got some very new and different Russian rations. Some freeze-dried rations that are very, very light compared to this 3-pounder that I got. So those would be very interesting to try. And go check out foreignmemory.com and check out the Foreign MRE YouTube channel. Art and Nina are absolutely awesome. They are a great team. They even get to sample some of their stuff that they get in. And so go check them out. Get yourself a ration from another country. Experience some different foods and just enjoy it. So later on, I will come back with lunch and I will show you what I'm going to have. Thanks for watching and catch you on the flip side.